What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title of this video, I'm kind of gonna do like a story time slash chit chat type of video. I mean, hey, might as well, right? I feel like I haven't really done one of those in like a couple weeks, so I wanted to get one of those out for you guys. So before I start this story, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl down below. Helps a lot. And yeah, let's get started. So basically I wanted to jump on here and talk about my past experience with my it was my current class, but I was finally able to drop it, thank God, because it was just a hot mess. Like, I know I'm 22 years old, I'm still currently attending college to become a nurse, and honestly I'm debating if I even want to be in the medical field or not at this point, because of how bad this professor to me was and how dramatized I am from this class. So I'm taking a little break from the sciences and kind of just going with, you know, the regular like English and math courses I still need to take regardless for my particular major. So flashback to the beginning, so the end of August, beginning of September, I started school. Again, I took anatomy. This is my anatomy part 2 class. Now, the way my college is set up, because of the fact that the course is so intensive and there's so much information that they try to cram into your brain in like one particular set of time, they split it up into 2 courses. So I took anatomy part 1 during the spring. Now that class obviously is challenging, but it wasn't bad to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I'm gonna fail. Like, my professor was a darn good professor, and he's actually currently still a doctor practicing now, so he knows what the heck he's doing. So I took him, I did very good in that class. I mean, the last lab practical I got an A on, so kudos to your girl. Your girl felt very educated when I was taking that test. I'm like, oh, I know all these answers, I'm chilling. But so with that being said, because of the fact that I finished out so strong with anatomy part 1 in the spring, you know, it took my little break over the summer, whatever have you, and then I enrolled in anatomy part 2. This professor, I'm sorry, out of all the college courses that I have taken thus far, because I'm literally like 2 or 3 classes away from being able to enter into the nursing program. So with that being said, I've never had a professor like this before, and to me it was so frustrating, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I really can't, like this. So long story short, so me and like 3 other girls, we usually talked between each other, like they were in my anatomy 1 class and then they were also in my biology class, so we all kind of talked, you know, chit-chatted, gave each other tips and stuff like that, or like asked additional questions if we didn't understand something, whatever have you. So we all did relatively good in our past science classes. So number 1, when it comes to this professor, he talks way too fast. He rushes through the lectures. Then on top of that, first of all, the class is supposed to be from 6 to 8:50. Granted, I have no problem with leaving class early because of the fact that 9 times out of 10 I have to get up early in the next morning. But with that being said, he literally rushes the class to the point where we get out at like 7:30, 8 o'clock the latest. And I'm just like, first of all, how are you gonna rush us out of here and then we don't even know what the heck we're supposed to be studying? That's all I'm saying. Like, at least let me walk out knowing like, all right, I gotta study XYZ, or XYZ is important. Like, don't try to rush it, because at that point I feel like I'm just teaching myself. Like, that's basically how the class was set up. Like, you're teaching yourself. You're basically guessing like, hey, I think this is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't have to be like that whatsoever. So that was that. Then when it came to actually taking the test themselves, out of 27 students, including myself, why was the class average for the lab practical 65 and for the lecture exam is 63? Now, I don't care what anybody says, oh, anatomy is a difficult course and blah, 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 blah. No, because why the heck was the class average for anatomy part 1 in the upper 80s for every single test? No, if you are a good teacher, you will have a fairly good passing percentage when it comes to your exams. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care what the subject is. Period. So the fact that the class average was so low, everybody was frustrated, everybody was freaking out. I was frustrated because of the fact that, especially for the lab practical, for those of you that may or may not know, everything is from your head. There's no answer key, there's no multiple choice, nothing. It points to what is this, or what connects to this, or what travels through this. You have to come up with the answer from your brain and write it out. Period. I studied every single day up until that stupid exam, and I also studied for a whole 6 hours a day ahead of time because of the fact that I got to go into work late. So with that being said, so I did all this studying to get a 40%. Huh? Let me tell y'all something. I graduated with honors, okay? I have never really had major issues when it came to my academics when I was actually trying. Like when my first semester in college, I messed up bad just because I was going through a lot of personal issues. But that was me not trying. There's a difference between you not trying and you actually trying. Like for me to actually try, I was getting A's and B's left and right, and that's how I was able to raise up my GPA from basically nothing. So I'm over here freaking out like, yo, like, am I the only one that's dead? Like, what's going on? So I talked to my, the regular group of girls that I talked to, and they were telling me like, yo, I did bad on this test. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. Blase, blase. And I'm just like, all right. So in a way I felt good because I wasn't the only person going through this, but at the same time I felt bad because it's just like, dang, like, and mind you, the girls that I usually talk to in class, they get like 95, 96, 97. It's like they're like A pluses. So for them to sit up here and be getting C's and D's on tests, that's really saying something. So I wanted to drop the class. I was like, nah, I don't want to be in this class anymore. I'm not doing it. So what ended up happening was I spoke to my scheduling advisor because I was like, look, I want to drop this course. I don't want this course anymore. This professor doesn't know what he's doing, blase, blase, right? So I didn't go in like too in depth just because I'm like, I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot. I'm basically the only one that's speaking out saying something. I just want to drop the course and then just retake it at a later time. So she proceeds to tell me, oh, unfortunately, you can't drop it because you're on academic probation. Now, what academic probation means is basically if you fail or withdraw from another course, you will not be able to receive financial aid anymore from that specific for that specific academic institution. So I was like, oh, crap, because mind you, I got placed on academic probation. Because remember what I said earlier, I flunked out of all my classes my first fall semester after high school because of the fact that I was going through a lot of stress and a lot of issues when it came to my living conditions, family, money, work, all that stuff. So I ended up taking a year off from school. That's within that year, that's when I started currently working at the bank I work at now. So I was in a better place. So when I decided to start school again, that's when I first got put on academic probation. So with that being said, between when I first got on academic probation up until now, I've taken a total of 6 classes. 2 of them were science classes. It was 2 science classes, a psychology course, a philosophy course, and I forget what the other course was. But anyway, so I took all those courses. So with that being said, I got A's and B's on all those courses. I was able to raise my GPA from basically dirt to now being okay. So with that being said, it's not like I'm all of a sudden getting lazy. Like if I'm gonna enroll in a course, I'm gonna make sure that my time is not being wasted. In this particular semester, I feel like my time was definitely wasted. So after that, after she explained that to me, I told her and I explained to her the situation, like, look, me and this professor do not click whatsoever. Is there any way I can possibly just transfer to a different class and have a different professor? Because me and this professor aren't clicking. A lot of students are struggling in his class. I want to stop this before I'm too knee deep in the semester and I can't reverse my grade. So she sat me down with the head of the financial aid department, which I already knew him because of the fact that because of my situation with my parents, which is a whole nother story for a different time, I always have to get a parental override for my financial aid. So with that being said, I was already pretty familiar with him. He was familiar with me. So I explained to him, I was like, look, you know me. I have to sit down with you every semester when it comes to my financial aid. You know what type of student that I am. I explained the situation to him, so he basically told me, you know what? With that being said, he was like, I'm going to have you sit down with the head of the science department right now and, talk to her, basically try to figure out a solution. If anything, just try to stick it out. If you can at least get a passing grade by the beginning of November, then come back to me and I'll basically give you a get out of jail free card, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. That works. Busted my butt to try to raise my grade. My grade only rose by like 10, 15-ish%. So it still wasn't high enough for me to be passing the course. I'm like, you know what? I'm over it. I don't care about this class no more. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like dealing with it right now. My mindset isn't even really on school at the current moment. I'm just over it. If I know that my mindset isn't where it's supposed to be, I'm just not gonna do well. Period. It doesn't even matter what class you're in. If you're not in the correct mental state to be going to college, you got a lot of stuff in your personal life going on, don't even bother. And I'm not saying that to be discouraging. I'm just saying, like, as a realistic person and personally going through it myself, it's hard to sit up here and be going through personal stuff and going to school. So if your heart's not really in it, then don't. Just don't do it. So long story short, thank God I was able to go back to him and basically be like, look, I did everything I can do. Can you please drop me from this class without taking away my financial aid? And he was able to do it. And I'm just like, like, I feel like there's been such a giant weight lifted off my shoulders. So yeah, I feel as though if you guys don't take anything out of this video, because I was rambling a lot, at least take this. Like, don't sit up here. If your heart's not in it, don't try to force it. Like, if you naturally feel as though, hey, I'm just not, I just can't do school right now, take a break. Don't sit up here and let society pressure you, or your parents or your family pressure you, saying that, hey, you absolutely have to continue school, you have to go through it and do all this other stuff. Like, no, don't do it. So yeah, do what makes you happy. I mean, obviously don't just sit on your butt and be a bum all day, but you know, at least try to be somewhat productive. Like, I'm not quitting school altogether. I am taking a speech and statistics class in the spring because I do want to get a degree in at least something if it's not nursing, because I'm not going to sit up here and go through all these classes to not get nothing out of it. So I definitely am going to continue school. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess, yeah, right? Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl down below. I know it's a little bit kind of all over the place, but I definitely did want to have something to pop out to you guys and kind of let you guys know, like, where my mindset is and all that other stuff. And hey, maybe there's somebody else that's going through the same situation and they're not 100% sure how to go about it and what to actually do. So hopefully I brightened up somebody's day. Hopefully I cleared something up for somebody. Maybe I'm that voice that somebody needs to finally make a life-changing decision that they need to make, and they know they need to make, and they're scared to make, and they need that confirmation and all that other stuff. And again, I'm rambling again. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.